Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy King J. Today, loads of Tekken 8 content went out. A lot of people got a chance to play the game, and obviously they have pre-recorded footage. And I'm going to review the footage. I did not get to play the game, so I am sitting here like everyone else, reacting to the content. So we're gonna see what's going on. The main man is obviously giving his thoughts and review on the full game. So let's see what he's saying.
Hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and me, I'm doing great, although I'm still a little bit sick. You might be able to hear it on my voice. Apologies for that, bear with me. You'll hear me talk like this in this video, and then hopefully you're interested in the breakdowns I've made as well on Reina, Deviljin, Lee, and Steve. I adore those characters, and I believe they deserve their own video where I talk in detail about them, because I got to spend quite some time with these characters, as I was lucky enough to get invited to the Bandai Namco offices on the 20th of November. Got to try out the full retail version of Tekken 8. I got to play like story mode, Tekken Ball, customization, practice mode. I got to take a look at pretty much everything. And it's looking so good. And this is some footage from there. This is going to be me playing, doing random stuff. Well, random stuff, you know, having some fun with Tekken 8. I had quite limited time, but still enough, you know, got a couple of hours. And apologies about the coloring here. It's going to be a little bit off because I recorded on a PlayStation 5 with HDR on. And that apparently makes everything look a little bit duller. So the game does look better than this. You'll see proper footage on some of my breakdowns because we fixed it.
Yeah, so usually you can't record on capture cards with HDR on because, yeah, like I've had that situation where I've tried to do stuff with HDR on, and yeah, it just makes everything look so dark.
But and this is of course the first trailer stage, and it's so amazing, it's so cool, and the music is so good. So many amazing stages, by the way, that have not been shown yet, and I'm unsure if we should spoil them as content creators or spoil raid shards that haven't been seen yet. But so much amazing stuff. But I just want to say in short, before I get carried away, this is going to be the best Tekken game of all time. There's no fucking way this is not going to be the best Tekken game of all time. It's like, I just don't know how they could have done a better job, personally, because I was just seeing the main menu. You know, in the network test on the beta, you see Kazuya's face. Now you have a very extended menu, which is not as convoluted as Street Fighter 6's menu. This one is easier to comprehend. But you do use the trigger shoulder buttons on your pad, you know, L1, R1, to go from one section to the next, like
show us
modes, online modes, options, etc. And it goes from Kazuya's face to different parts of his body, his biceps, in a very cinematic way. The camera swooshes to a profile shot of him. And it's so cinematic. It's so cool. It's just a main menu, but it just blew me away. And I know that when you see it, you're also going to be like, wow.
Oh, maybe he can't show it.
Like, his model is so high resolution. It's insane. I mean, it's not exactly photorealism, but it's not far away. It looks so good. And again, I'm just constantly blown away by how beautiful the game is. Every time I sit down with Tekken 8, I just pause for a little moment, quite a few times, just going like, the graphics are so insane. But
yo,
yeah,
scan on J-Waffles.
Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna let this roll. In short, graphics amazing, main menu amazing, story mode super awesome, I thought. We only got to play a few chapters, like 4 chapters, but it was insane. I'm not gonna spoil it, obviously.
He's down back 2.
Quest, surprisingly cool, I thought.
They fixed it.
And then we didn't get to try the character episodes, but we know
They fixed
what they are. You know, it's gonna be like classic Tekken Arcade with CG endings, which I think is so great that it's back. And then now I can't see what I've written here. I write like a moronic man. Tutorials, etc. and help. I'm surprised at how much they've built in tutorials and just general help for newcomers, or even for people who've played for a while. You know, you saw the tutorial, the very basic one, when you booted the beta. Booted. I'm Canadian now. Booted. When you booted, so
what is that damage?
When you booted, the network test or beta, you know, you got a basic. This is how you guard. You can duck highs. This is how you activate heat. You have that stuff, but then like when you go into practice mode, like Jesus Christ, in the move list, you have these are your most important attacks. You have that in a list, and you have notes saying, well, this you can do this to set up this, or this move is good if you like to crouch. You have that stuff.
That's it.
And then you have a combo suggestions, right? But then what you also have now in practice mode is a help section where you click on it, and then it gives you 20 different options, and it explains frame data to you. What is frame data? Well, here you go. 6 amazing slides in a row. You click from one to the other, where they in detail break down frame data to you in a very easy to comprehend way. And they even do this about, well, what are hit properties? And it will explain to you what does it mean when something is a counter hit or damage or tracking, homing. It's like,
yeah, that's sick. That's really good.
So cool to see. And Arcade Quest has a lot of information.
Before he gets into Arcade Quest and stuff, yeah, it's quite sick what he's saying. I would love to visually see it to kind of like give my 2 pence in it. But right now, the only thing I could really do is just listen to what he's saying, because it's his experience on the game. I don't really know if what he's saying is 100%. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's very good at understanding Tekken, so I'm just going to take what he's saying for what it is. And this is going to now help new players, yeah, just get into it, man. It's going to be crazy.
Beginners. Some trials and challenges they can do, and just explaining core mechanics in the game. There's so much built into the game.
Graphics look sick.
Beginners, and I was really impressed with that. I think it's a really good step to take with Tekken, and especially Tekken 8. Story mode, really good. So now they do the correct thing of not having an awkward narrator. I mean, you could always tell with Tekken 7 that the budget wasn't that high.
Yeah.
They had to, it wasn't cutscenes all the time. They had to use art, or what do I call it? Pictures, and then narrator dialogue overlay. No one wanted this narrator, some random journalist character we don't give a fuck about is talking about the events. But it's because I guess they couldn't have the actors and cutscenes. It's too much money. So I think that was the compromise, having him. And then they reused Tekken 5 assets, you know, like Tekken 5 intro, and did filler shit with old content. And I get it, you know, Tag 2 was a huge flop. It almost killed Tekken, but when they got to make Tekken 7, they probably didn't have a huge budget. But again, this is what I want to stress with Tekken 8. As soon as you put this shit up, you see the money on the goddamn screen. You see the budget. I told you about the main menu, but when you play story mode, you're like, holy shit. Amazing set pieces, environments. The character models are just like, you know, they make the most out of them in story mode. You have these amazing shots of the character models. The lighting, cinematography is great. The facial animations are great.
They look it.
The models have been expensive to make, according to Bandai Namco. Very expensive, but
I just want to say the stage, this Lee stage looks absolutely sick. This is probably one of my favorite stages in Tekken 8. I can't even lie.
The models have been expensive to make, according to Bandai Namco. Very expensive, but they make the most out of them. They look amazing in story mode. And everything is cutscenes, no dull narrator, no images. Everything is cutscenes, animated. Story is what it should be. Is it Shakespeare? No, but it has great pacing, action. It has energy. Follows Jin, obviously. But
nice.
Every character, again, I didn't play the whole thing, so I don't know if every character is in it. But they make a point of putting in as many characters as they can. Every character gets to shine.
And that's one thing I was kind of like thinking about with Tekken 8 story, is that I didn't want it to be just Devil Jin, Kazuya, and Reina. So I'm happy that from what they're saying is that they've added in every character, because now it feels like an actual Tekken universe story. So I think that's good. Love to know what characters you got to see and what he didn't.
And I was like, well, god damn it, this is what we wanted all along. Like, well done. So I think I was positively surprised with story mode, and I can be hard to please with stuff like that. So I'm sure you guys are also going to like it. And Rain, I'm not going to spoil, but has a very quirky and cool part of a story mode. Really enjoyed that. Arcade Quest has its own little story mode where you're a Tekken player who wants to get into the Tekken World Tour.
Do you know how sick that is? The Arcade Quest. If they pull this off the right way, this could introduce so many new players into Tekken. And what makes it even more interesting is that we could be finding a lot more new blood into the game, and could be, you know, the next Tekken World Tour champion. Do you know what I mean? From any region. So it's good that he's mentioned that, you know, this mode has its own little story. Like, you know, you got your own rival and stuff like that. And it's got its own story. So now there's 2 different stories in this one game, which makes it interesting. Because that Arcade Quest is going to be for the casuals that probably want to, you know, have the courage to be able to, you know, get into those type of things like the TWT and stuff.
And you go from arcade hub to arcade hub on a world map, and you challenge people in the arcades, and you have your friend Max there to help you out, and he he talks to you about being a positive, and I like this, Tekken community can be so elitist, and there's in the story of Arcade Quest, there's this unbeaten Ochoro, or whatever his name is, who looks
Orochi.
And he's super cool and mysterious, and he's like, you bums shouldn't play in the Tekken World Tour, you guys suck at Tekken, get the hell out of here.
Do you know what's crazy? That's how my entry came into Tekken. That's kind of funny. You know, like, just a quick one because I want to see the rest of the video. A short summary is, when I was going to Trocadero back in the day for Tekken 6, like, I was just a new person, but because I wanted to get involved in the scene, it was kind of like there was people that was already in the scene. It's like they called all the new players like bums and all of that stuff, and, you know, like, oh yeah, you're not good, this, that, and other. And I never paid no attention. I just kept on playing. So this story sounds right at home. But yeah, let's get into it.
You guys suck. Tekken is for pro players only. And then Max, who's so wholesome, says, everyone who enjoys playing Tekken does the right thing. Everyone who's just having fun playing Tekken is doing good Tekken. And it's like, yeah, it's so wholesome. I agreed with Max. It was so beautiful. But so it has its own little story mode, and Max explains basic, I mentioned this before, but he explains some basic mechanics of Tekken to you. And as you do fights early on in Arcade Quest, he's actually present as a dialogue window below as you're playing, and he gives you tips as you're playing. You're going to have to see this for yourself, but I thought it was really cool. An Arcade Quest, is the story mode there going to be as elaborate as story mode? No, but I was surprised at how interesting that content also seemed to be.
That's good single player content,
like,
though.
You're going to have a dedicated story mode, which looks amazing. Like, honestly, you are going to like it, I think. And then you have a character episodes with CG endings, and then you have Arcade Quest. I mean, I gotta say, content-wise, this game is no slouch.
Okay.
No slouch, to say the least.
I'm happy about that. I'm happy. Tekken Ball. Talk about Tekken Ball.
Oh, and then I'm gonna touch upon customization. And this is though where I gotta say, I was a little bit disappointed.
Oh, no. Don't say it. Don't say it, please. You know, it's the one thing that we all wanted to know about is customization, because they've been showing everything else, but customization isn't really a big thing they've shown, and I was worried about customization. I can't lie. All right, let me hear what you gotta say.
But I did expect more. I have to say. The items that are there are absolutely amazing. And everything looks tailored to your character.
Cool.
And you can even adjust the size of a lot of items and the placing of them.
Cool.
Which was a really neat feature that probably should have always been there. And also, now you can change the pants, and the shoes are separate. The shoes are their own category, thank God. So that stuff is really great. But what made me feel a little bit like, was the fact that there weren't that many items. I expected more items, personally. And also, you know, in Tekken 7, when you're in customization mode and you hover over an item, and then you go to another one, it immediately loads them. So you can see this looks like this looks like this. It doesn't do that in Tekken 8. You go over an item and then you
takes long to load.
Click a button saying try it on. And when you do that, it actually takes like a substantial amount of time to load the item onto your character. And you can decide whether you want to equip it or not, or
Guys, listen, guys, listen. We gotta drink one. We gotta drink one for the customization, man. We gotta pour one out because, yeah, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. Let's go. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. And it felt
sluggish.
Ah.
When I went to another item, it also felt sluggish in how it removed the item I was trying on. You know, it's like, I don't know. Customization was good, but I have to say here that I expected more. So that is a little bit of a negative for me. And then the stages are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, they look good.
As you can see here. Funnily enough, is that a word? Funnily enough.
Funnily enough.
The White Desert stage with the Tag 1 references from the Tag 1 intro with June and Jin, and the hand in the background with the chains where everything is white, doesn't seem to be in the full retail version of the game. Are they saving it for DLC? Or is it maybe going to be a story mode specific stage? Only in story mode? I have no clue.
What did he say? Sorry, wait. I kind of
doesn't seem to be in the full retail version of the game. The White Desert stage with the Tag 1 references from the Tag 1 intro with June and Jin, and the hand in the background with the chains.
I know what says you talk about.
Everything is white. Doesn't seem to be in the full retail version of the game. Are they saving it for DLC? Or is it maybe going to be a story mode specific?
Ah, so that with all the whole flashback with June and Jin, I know what he's talking about. But you see the stage here, the only way I can't see it being DLC. I think the stage is once you complete the story mode, yeah, like I don't honestly think it's gonna be like, you know, yeah, it can't be, surely, right?
Fake stage only in story.
I think you got complete story mode and that's it. You get it.
And then so many stages you haven't seen yet that are amazing, and with good music. One stage has that music you've heard in the trailer, the Save the Day trailer, the second trailer we got, where we saw that story mode sequence where Jin turns to Devil Jin, grabs Devil Kazuya by the face and demolishes a building with him, flies down into the ground with him, and you hear a choir go, ha, 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 he, ha, ha. That's the music on one of the stages, and it's actually really good. I haven't been that impressed with the music so far in Tekken 8, but all of the stages you haven't seen yet, good music, I thought. So yeah, stage is cool. And now the final point I want to bring up is balancing.
Wait. So that stage there, yeah. So he's talking about balancing. So that stage, the Arena Underground, has the same music as the original Arena stage. Come on, that is lazy. You put so much work and time into this game. That is lazy. Like, you could have put something else as that song. I just don't know when it. Maybe that's me. Like, you lot might say that I'm nitpicking. see it as that. I see it as this. You will have another whole stage, and it has the same music.
Short and brief. This is 15 minutes now, and these are my initial thoughts on it. I had a, it's like in, but yeah, when you contrast a character like June,
I think.
Let
me go back. Sorry about that, chat. I was a bit really upset about that, man.
I haven't been that impressed with the music so far in Tekken 8, but all of the stages you haven't seen yet. Good music, I thought. So yeah, stage is cool. And now the final point I want to bring up is balancing, because this was something I immediately checked out. I was like, you've heard how I feel about characters like Kazuya, Jin.
When it comes to balancing, though, don't you lot think that it's kind of down to, like, we're not going to know anything because we don't know the meta of the game. That's first and foremost. Like, the meta of the game is definitely going to be different from Tekken 7, especially with chip damage, you know, heat smash, all of those things. We don't know anything, but I'm still open to hear what he's going to say.
In Jack, June, there are some problematic balancing decisions. And again, obviously, this game is so early. It's going to have to be refined with patches and everything. And they've done a reasonably good job, I think, considering we're so early. But yeah, when you contrast a character like Kazuya to Jack, it's a little bit like, what the hell? What is going on? So I was like, I wonder what retail version balancing looks like. So I was like, I'm going to try Kazuya stuff, see if anything has changed. I'm going to try Jin's down 2, forward 4, 2-1-4. Have they changed this stuff? Or is it like in the beta? And it's like in the beta. Again, I had limited time. I couldn't try everything. Kazuya seemed the same. Jin seemed the same. So unless there's a day 1 patch fixing a lot of stuff, I think what we saw from the playable characters in the beta, that's how they're going to operate and play in the retail version of the game, is my guess.
Surely not.
And I had a ton of fun with Reina. I had a ton of fun with Steve, Dragonov, Devil
Surely
Jin,
not.
Lee. Very impressed with them, but again, they're going to get their own videos. So I hope you do, you know, enjoy those videos as well.
That is crazy.
But I'm going to keep it short and brief. This is 15 minutes now, and these are my initial thoughts on the Tekken 8 retail version. Such an honor and privilege, you know, being a YouTuber, being allowed to their offices and try the game. And again, I mean what I say. Like when I played the game in Lyon in March, I was just like, if you remember what I said then, I was like, this is going to be the best Tekken game of all time. And when I played it now, I was like, it's magnified by 200% what I said then. It's just like, this is going to be such a contender to MK1, Street Fighter 6, and Project L. I mean, again, Tekken is the only 3D fighting game out there, so it always have a monopoly on that, and always be its own entity. Like where Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and Project L are in direct competition, right? Tekken has a monopoly on 3D fighter. So it's always unique in that way, but I think this could very well be the best fighting game of all time. Absolutely, there's a case for it. And I'm sure you will see what I see when you play the game. It's just, you see the money on the screen, you know, and they made all the right decisions, I think. Offline content in general, online modes, graphics, the way they've revamped the characters to make them feel fresh. They could have played it safe with the gameplay, made Tekken 7 again, but instead you have a game with huge side steps, small backdashes, heat system, chip damage, you know, everything that comes with heat, and how different the characters are, counter hit throws, jumping is so nerfed, low parries, gigantic nerfs, they removed magic force and back ones. It's like, they really tried to, even with the gameplay, make it feel really fresh. And, you know, rebuilding everything from scratch. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm so impressed, and I can't wait for the release and see what everyone feels about the game. But so I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown. Sorry again for my voice, and I hope to see you on the next video very soon. So have a great rest of your day. Bye.
What?
Ah, man. All right. So that's very interesting. So from what I gathered from that video, thanks, obviously, the main man for releasing that video and telling us exactly what's going on with Tekken 8. From the sounds of things, it sounds like the game, the package is great. It sounds like the music ain't, you know, it's not breathtaking, but it's in there. Like it should be. I was expecting it to be better than Tekken 7, but he didn't really go too much into the music. Balancing, I'm surprised that Kazuya is the same, but I do believe that when the game does come out, there should be a day one patch. Most of the time with these games, there are a day one patch, so I can only assume. Customization not being great is a big letdown. I kind of felt like the game was kind of released quite quick from the first trailers that we saw. So I was always skeptical about, like, you know, just what is going to be in the game in terms of, the, you know, customization, like features, all of those things. It doesn't seem like they got to try out the Fight Lounge because it's probably offline modes that they got to try, which is cool. I'm still a bit skeptical about Fight Lounge. I'll talk about that in a later video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel because that is very, very important just for the future of Tekken 7, Tekken 8, and connecting that with esports. Very, very interesting topic. Yeah, the game looks good. The graphics look amazing. The stages look amazing. The characters look amazing. The intros and stuff that I've seen like Raven and Victor outro. I've seen one with Yoshi and Brian. I've seen Jack and Alyssa. They're all really good, and it's interesting, and it's, you know, seeing the passion from what the main man is saying from one content creator to another. I can understand that this game is definitely going to be probably one of the best fighting games of all time. I just can't wait to get my hands on it. I know there's going to be a demo, and I've just seen a tweet from Michael Murray, funnily enough, saying that, you know, you get to try out a bit of the story mode as well. Now, the thing is with the demos, I don't know how much we get to play and if we get all the characters. I have no idea. It's only for one day. I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, I do hope there is like a day one patch. I wish people tried out Tekken Ball, but again, I don't think people had access to online, and I think Tekken Ball, you have to have access to online to get to the Fight Lounge. Unsure. They didn't show much of the main menu that you're talking about. You know, you got to press L1 or R1 to go to the other modes. I really want to see that stuff. It sounds so interesting. But yeah, all I could do is pray for Tekken. You know, like I said, I'm a big fan of Tekken. I've been making a lot of content for a very, very long time, over a decade of Tekken content. And, you know, when Tekken 8 comes out, I will be making a hell of a lot more in terms of guides, you know, competitive content, first to 5s, first to 10s. Random lobbies are going to be back again, and they're going to be in full effect. There might even be some offline stuff. I can't really talk too much right now about it. We just have to wait and see and just keep it locked on this channel. Again, shout out to the main man. Go check out his content as well, because he's released a lot more Tekken 8 stuff. I can only watch for now. So yeah, this is just going to be reaction stuff. But yeah, take it easy, everyone. Peace.